against average of 2.67.
At Belfort, 7 wins and 1 loss in his 9 appearances in this year's playoffs, and a 2.61 goals against average. The goals against average of 2 in the 3 previous games against Detroit.
Bill McCreary will be the referee here tonight. The linesman Ray Scampanello and Ron Finn and Roenick and Fedorov get the game started as the Hawks get the draw, and it's cleared to the Detroit line. And now an offside call as Larmer was trapped in there ahead of the play. And already Sean Burr and Chelios have some angry words, and Bill McCreary is there in a hurry.
Sean Burr has been one of the most aggressive forwards for the Red Wings. He is one of the few guys that has gotten involved in every game.
Now the Hawks dump it in. The far side, Larmer kicked it loose to Roenick, who's passed the flex, then Smith held it in. Here's the long shot. It's just blocked, and Matteau couldn't find the handle. Yzerbar does to Fedorov. He dumps it into the Hawks zone. As Chelios is back. Even a Roenick, and now the fans start chanting, "Sweep, sweep." Well, there's still 59.5 minutes before that can be determined. Brad McCrimmon moving it into the Hawk zone. Red center for Dirk Ray, and I'm telling you, he just dumped it into the Red Wing zone, and then he got flat by Probert. The play goes on as Mike Sillinger sends Eisen into center. He rolls it into the Hawk zone. Belfort sweeps it to the far side. Chason will hold it in, trying to center. It's picked off by Kravchuk. Igor Kravchuk goes around the boards, and Konstantinov not able to hold it in. Then he was leveled by Lemieux as though the offside whistle blew. And some very intense physical play in the first minute of the game.
Bob Probert just cross-checked Kravchuk in the back of the head, knocked his helmet off, and McCreary never saw it. Let's hope that McCreary has a better outing than he did the last time we saw him in St. Louis. But Probert makes a run at Jocelyn Lemieux, catches him off balance with his head down, busts into the side boards. But take a lot more than that to stop Jocelyn Lemieux. He bounced right back up and then ran at the Soviet defenseman Konstantinov on this side of the blue line.
Ryan Murray didn't pull any punches about it after game 3. He said one guy put us short for 8 minutes in the first period. It's pretty tough to win on the road when you have that happen. Robert was the man he was referring to. Here's the draw. Got back into the Detroit zone. Yves Racine chasing back for it. Icing is the call.
Michel Goulet's first shift in this year's playoffs. Injured his groin into the last road game in Detroit.
And the bad luck of getting hurt right at the end of last season's regular campaign as well. And was able to help the Hawks against Minnesota in round 1 a year ago.
He's a guy that they really needed in that series because of his composure and his experience. Long time since Goulet has played. Red Wings have never led in this series at any moment in any game.
Draws shot back into the Detroit zone. Racine hounded by Larmer in the corner. Matteau in there as well. Primo for Detroit. Around to the near side of Shepard. Moves it out to the neutral area. Chelios on it for the Blackhawks. Racine, Larmer leaving for Matteau. Who gets the line? Matteau on his off wing. Cuts to the net. Shoots. And a save. Shepard. I don't know where it is. But he swept it away before Roenick could get to it. And it winds up back in the Hawk zone. Jeremy Roenick pumping it in. Down the boards, Lauer left it for Chelios. Across to Smith at the near point. He takes a look and shoots one shot at line. There's going to be a Detroit penalty. Here's a shot. Got a save by Chevrolet on Lemieux. Lemieux jammed it to Peluso. Out to the line, Chelios. His drive. Chevrolet stopped it. And it deflects over the glass into the crowd, and the Blackhawks will get the first power play of the game.
Blackhawks all over the Detroit Red Wings on this shift. Meanwhile, Blackhawk player knocked flying. Brad Lauer's in from behind by Miller. Miller goes to the box for interference. The Blackhawks get the first power play. The only negative for the Blackhawks throughout the playoffs, or this series I should say, 2 for 20 with a man advantage.
Now the puck cleared to the Chicago line, taken by Smith. Around the boards, Goulet on left wing. The bounce one to center, but Sean Durr picks it off there and clears it. And then Roenick just got hit by Konstantinov after Roenick delivered a good hit on Burr, but the whistle had sounded.
Konstantinov got away with one there. Should have been a roughing penalty, and McCreary saw it. He didn't make the call. Overall, the Blackhawks 11 for 62 in the playoffs. 5 power play goals at home and 6 on the road. Keith Brown got off to a roaring start with a 6-game scoring streak and 8 assists.
Jason's clearing attempt went up into the crowd. Jason is favoring an ankle a little bit. This is giving him trouble from time to time. Still has been an important part of the Red Wing defense, but I don't think his mobility is quite what it might be.
Still, he's been their best defenseman.
Face off to the right of Chevelday. Wrestling on the boards, and it came to the line. Smith is there. Steve Smith into the deep slot with it. Now up the far side to Chelios, whose pass was read perfectly by Sillinger, and he clears it.
You have to be very careful at your own blue line. With guys like Yzerman and Sillinger, they're very good at picking plays off like they just did.
Smith shoots it in. Doubleday looking to clear. Larmer held it in, however. Then Yzerman won the battle on the board, sending it down the ice. 45 seconds for the Hawk power play. Ryan Noonan makes it into the Red Wing zone. The toe to the far corner. Both get loose, but the Wings able to control, and Fedorov cleared it. Kravchuk up to center where Keith Brown looks for the toe. He was stopped. Burr jammed it loose. Here's Fedorov one-on-one in over the Hawk line, and Brent Sutter able to thwart that rush. Battle in the Hawk zone along the boards, and Noonan jammed it out of there to Kravchuk. And now the Detroit penalty is over, and both teams are back in full strength. The toe over the Red Wing line, bounce one into the spot offside is the call. Well, the first Hawk power play does not generate much, still a scoreless game.
Lewis struggling in this series. He's doing a good job of penalty killing, but the Blackhawks are very slow to get back and get set up. They're very tentative in their efforts to get started.
Racine for Detroit. Scoops it perfectly to center. Carson put it to Primo over the line on left wing, shooting it up, saved by Belfour. A great rush up the ice from the Red Wings because of 2 perfect passes.
A good feather pass on the backhand by Racine. Landed flat on the stick of Jimmy Carson, and Jimmy Carson with the pass across ice to Primo, the big winger. He's down the left side, trying to go low to the glove side. Belfour makes his first save, and that's got to feel pretty good for a goaltender to make that initial save.
Keith Primo, an interesting guy, because a lot of teams have inquired about his availability when there have been trade talks involving the Red Wings, and Ryan Murray steadfastly maintains he is not going to move that kid. He thinks he's got a great future.
He really does. It takes so much longer for a guy, a big gangly kid like that, to get his coordination. Look for him. He was a great junior.
Now in the Hawk zone, Chelios looking for Larmer. He's well covered by Racine. Still held the puck though. Larmer circling deep in his own end. side with a little time. He's center one tip. Oh, McGill almost tipped it in his own net. And again, the Hawks just directing it toward the goal. Sometimes good things can happen. Steve Smith now. And his pass picked off by Yzerman. Steve Yzerman scoops it in. Elmore put it to the near side, and it bounces free back to center. Konstantinov is there. Working into the Hawk zone. Now Smith. Basically clears it out. The hand pass as Chason gloved it. An offensive manner to the Red Wing captain, Steve Yzerman, who's got a goal and 2 assists so far in this series.
Slow start to the game, but obviously Blackhawks trying to make the safe play, not trying to get the Red Wings any momentum early. Blackhawks very nearly get a break on a shot from Gilbert that deflected off McGill, and Chevrolet was able to make the save on that redirected shot by Gilbert. McGill, who had a lot of his career with the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Chicago Blackhawks, was acquired by the Red Wings at the trading deadline from San Jose. Blackhawks didn't want to let McGill go. He was a valuable part of the Blackhawk team. Was left unprotected, picked up by San Jose.
49th career playoff game for Bob McGill. Looking for his first ever postseason point. Here's the draw, bouncing around at the center ice area. Then a feed for Yzerman is ruled to be offside. And the whistle sounds. 13.5 minutes remaining in the opening period. The Hawks and the Wings are scoreless. A slow start in this game, and I would think that that doesn't bother Brian Murray at all.
It doesn't bother Mike Keenan either. The pressure's on the Red Wings. They need to win. The Blackhawks are happy that it's 0-0. The pressure clearly on the Red Wings. They need to get some offense. They need to get a lead in this series. They're playing a very conservative opening period to try and keep it close and hope for a break. In your last legs, you need to make your own breaks.
I know that the times we saw those two in the regular season, they really seemed to have a great chemistry and sense of where the other guy was going to be. They really have not played very much together in the postseason.
Who knows? Maybe he thought they weren't performing well late in the season and wanted to split them up and get them going that way, but different reasons. Obviously, we don't know why he's doing it. Got to get some offense somehow. You're realigned. They've got now Probert with Yzerman and Sillinger on the right side.
Back of the Hawk net, Chelios feeds Smith. Back to Chris Chelios, and he nearly gave it away, but Smith will work it to center, and Graham shot it in from there. A rough ride from McGill in the process. Here's Lemieux crashing in on Racine, and Sillinger poked it loose to the far side. Chelios in there. McGill really took a run at him. And the Hawks keep it in. Now Racine lost the handle in the corner. Here's Dirk Graham looking for Lemieux. Lemieux wrestling with Yzerman. Works it loose behind the net. And Yzerman diving with a poke check, cleared it away. Not out. At the side of the net, Gilbert took a backhand. It didn't connect. Gilbert and McGill really had a tussle going. Now in the far corner, here's Lemieux. He ran Probert over. Lemieux, Cedric Graham. He couldn't hold the pass. Oh, and there's going to be a penalty coming up. Shots of Lemieux against a man twice his size. And Bob Probert lined up and buried him with a hit. And that brings the stadium crowd to life in a scoreless game.
Both teams try to initiate. The best hit so far as the fans are concerned, Lemieux just levels Bob Probert. Tit for tat, Probert leveled Lemieux in his first shift. But Racine will get the elbowing penalty and another power play chance for the Blackhawks, and they better get their power play on track if they want to finish off the Red Wings. This penalty coming at 8:07. First two penalties going to the Red Wings.
Here's the draw, the Detroit zone, controlled by Chason. He clears it down all the way. Roenick, Larmer, and Matteau on this Hawk power play. Breakout broken up by Sean Kerr. The Hawks have to regroup. Chelios. To the stick and shot it around the board. Roenick bumped in behind the net, trying to try a three. He did to Chelios. He slopped to Smith. He shoots one in the save by Chevrolet. Rebound up in the air. Chevrolet missed it. And it goes loose into the corner. Then Chelios missed Smith to the feed. And the Hawks have to regroup with a minute left on their power play. Miss Chelios. Shooting it in as the wings line up for a cross. Noonan to the near corner. Oh, trying to jam it out of there. He did to Chelios at the line. Near board to Noonan. Walks into the slot. Fires. Deflected. Delay. Tipped it right through the goal crease. And it came to the near side. Chelios keeping it in. Kravchuk a shot. Didn't get through. McCrimmon got the block. Now Sutter in the corner. Leaving for Noonan. Out to the line. Chelios. Back to Noonan along the board. His pass stolen. Lindstrom clears it.
15 shot.
Last rush on this Chicago power play. Ryan Noonan carries it over the Red Wing line. Leaves it for Gilbert. Bring it up the board. Brent Sutter deep slot to Kravchuk. Brown lets it go. That's blocked and Burr got to him. Now they hack at it. Keith Brown held it in. His long wrist shot hits Sutter, who shoots one right through the goal crease, and Gilbert couldn't get any wood on it. The Red Wing penalty over. Both teams back at full strength. It's still in the Detroit zone. Noonan on the near board. Tied up by Racine. Puck lays there, and now the Red Wings unable to clear it again. Gilbert running in there deep. Brent Sutter racing after it, then McCrimmon got to it. And Brad McCrimmon will flip it back into the Hawk zone as the Red Wings need a change. Igor Kravchuk for Chicago. Looking to move out of his own end. Kravchuk forced to turn by Primo. Now Lauer has it on the left side. Rolling it into Red Wing ice. Jimmy Carson, the Detroit native. Back for the Red Wings. Pass deflecting, and a good job to hold it in. Here comes Lauer, shooting, and a save by Chevrolet. Great work by Marchman to start that off. And now the Red Wings finally clear it to the Chicago line. And Primo and Marchman in a huge collision when the play goes on. Now Graham give it to Cam Russell. He safely hoists it back into the Detroit zone, and chase on to play it for the Red Wings. Pass almost stolen. And he managed to clear it to center. Russell will shoot it right back in there. Here's the toe getting to it, but he overskates it. And Primo pushes it to the Hawk line. Roenick aces back the other way, gets him over the Red Wing line along his shot. And a save by Chevrolet. And Roenick almost fooled him by shooting it the other way. Smith in deep, had it taken away. And then it's cleared back into the Hawk zone. And now Larmer's in the Red Wing net. He's getting worked over by Tim Chevrolet. Chevrolet's going to get a penalty, or one of the Red Wings will. And then Smith, he dumps it in. I don't know if he knew there was a penalty coming. But Steve Larmer was in the Red Wing net, seeming as if he was trying to get out of there, and he was really getting worked over, and Chevrolet's furious. But the Hawks will go to the power play, looking to break a scoreless tie.
Pushed into the crease or not, but there are two Red Wing players working him over. He's pushed in by Konstantinov. He's held in there by Konstantinov. He's whacked by Chevrolet. Chevrolet working him over. So is Konstantinov. Then Chevrolet just whacked him in the face. And it'll be a penalty.
And there are two minor penalties being called here.
Wow, this is... maybe just one should be called, but now the Blackhawks probably can't complain about the officiating in this series. They've kept their composure, got the breaks. Here's another situation, a slashing penalty on McGill after Cheveldae was going to be whistled out for roughing. So double minors at 12:15, and the Blackhawks will continue power play hockey. So it'll be their third, and Brian Murray is upset, to say the least.
He would like to have a little consultation with Bill McCreary, and McCreary obliges him by coming over to the Red Wing bench to explain his calls. But it was, you mentioned Konstantinov, who pushed Larmer in behind Cheveldae to start with, and then the Red Wings really took exception to that, and Cheveldae in particular, and then McGill gave Larmer a whack as he was trying to get out of the net.
The goaltender obviously can't see what happened. All he sees is someone in the crease, but he can't lose control as Cheveldae did there, and then McGill gets the additional slashing penalty. Clearly there was going to be one penalty because Larmer was held into the crease by Konstantinov.
Well, the Blackhawks are 2 for 22 in this series on the power play. And they had best cash in here with a 2-man advantage, because I think there's a pretty good possibility Detroit's going to get several power plays here in their favor.
Hawks have had a decided edge in every game of this series. Power plays, and Murray just knows he can't fly off the handle here because he doesn't want anything else to happen. 9-1 the shots on goal. Even at even strength, the Red Wings are very conservative and cautious. Hawks better cash in on one of these opportunities. A 2-man disadvantage for 2 minutes.
Sutter, Roenick, and Larmer on the Hawk power play with Chelios and Kravchuk. A 2-man Hawk power play. Larmer sends Roenick over the line. Then Larmer got it back. Out to the far point, Chelios. Top of the ring to Kravchuk. Takes a look. Moves it back to Chelios. Now Kravchuk. He tees it upside, and then it's a Roenick centering one and hit a leg. To Chelios holding it in. Chelios for Kravchuk. He put it to Roenick. Shooting. And a save by Cheveldae. He just got down in time to stop that. And now he managed to cover it up.
It almost snuck through. I think Roenick was trying to pass it across the goal mouth. Kravchuk with the puck at the point. Faked the shot, slipped it over to Roenick, but the Blackhawks with 3 guys across in front of the net, they need to put someone back in the middle of that triangle to track 1 or 2 of those Red Wing players to create more room. There's a lot of traffic in front, and the one guy in the bottom could pretty well tie up the passing lane as Sutter, Larmer, and Roenick are in a straight line across. Makes it very easy for that bottom guy in the triangle, reverse triangle, to stay right in the middle, and better hope it can get through the pass.
Burr now joins Yzerman and Chason for the Red Wing penalty killers. Here is Kravchuk at the near point, up the board to Noonan. Ryan Noonan to Kravchuk at the line across to Chelios. He's got room, centered it, didn't get through to Noonan. Good play by Burr to tip that pass away. And now Kravchuk managed to hold it in for Chelios, for Noonan, centering, diving play. Now Noonan got it loose. In behind the net for Larmer. There's going to be a penalty coming up against the Blackhawks. I think it's Chason who is down on the ice. It is the Red Wing defenseman Steve Chason, who's been terrific so far for Detroit, and he's slow to get up here.
Hawks are trying to be too perfect. Chelios had a good shot opportunity to shoot. Ryan Noonan had a chance to shoot and elected to try and pass. Chason broke up the pass, and he got hurt when he made the pass, or blocked the pass, and got his own player got him. John Burr got him right in the head. And I don't understand. There can't be a penalty here.
Well, there will be, because
what's he doing?
Well, Bill McCreary thought it was Brent Sutter's stick that came up, but in fact it was Sean Burr's stick clearly that hit the Detroit player. And it's a 4-minute penalty to Brent Sutter, whose stick never made contact with Steve Chason.
Oh, that's amazing. That was. All he saw was Chason on the ice. He put his arm up.
Well, that's a classic case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time as far as Brent Sutter's concerned, because he was standing right next to Burr.
4 minutes for high sticking at 13-18.
Sutter never touches him. He's cross-checked from behind by Burr, and Burr clips him, and that's the 4-minute penalty. That's an amazing. What was McCreary looking at? He was looking at everything else but that altercation in front of the net. break there. Hawks
have a minute remaining on a 4-on-3 power play now. But after that minute, Detroit will have a 5-on-4 power play. Here's Kravchuk, whose pass is broken up. 6.5 left in a scoreless first period as Chris Chelios works his way to center, then gave it to Roenick. Roenick gets the Red Wing line. Dropped it for Chelios, and Kravchuk, a good player. Yzerman was off to the races off that miscue of a pass. And then the Red Wings do steal and clear. One more rush on the Hawk power play. Here's a giveaway by Kravchuk to Lidstrom. Over the line to Fedorov, shooting, and a save by Belfour. Rebound cleared over to the far side. And Smith able to get to it. He's founded by Fedorov. Sergei Fedorov giving Steve Smith problems. Now Graham able to help out. The 2 Detroit penalties are over. A 5-on-4 Detroit power play now for the next 3 minutes. Here's Chelios deep in his own end. Hearing it up the board, got a funny hop off a partition, and it bounced past everybody to center ice. Fedorov gave it to Lidstrom. He gets the line, flipped it toward the net. Belfour will handle this one and hang on as Berg was crashing toward the front of the goal.
Mercury license OZ 9647. Please go to your car immediately. That's
one thing that good news about that last penalty is that it pretty well evens things out in a hurry. And
9647.
Anticipating that maybe as the game wore on, Detroit would get more and more power play time because of what happened in the early going, but that 4-minute penalty might just level everything off, and now they'll be allowed to play hockey.
First 4 minor penalties of the game were called against the Red Wings, and then the Hawks had a 2-man advantage. The phantom high stick ruled to have been Brent Sutter's stick, was not. It was Sean Burr's stick that hit his own player, but Sutter, wrong place, wrong time, got the penalty. Here's Chason with a long shot up off the glass. Bounces free in behind, then came loose to Noonan. Ryan Noonan got up on the boards, and the Red Wings unable to hold it in. Noonan fending off 3 Detroit players to jam that puck loose to center. Now Brand works hard, poked it free in the Red Wing zone, but Chason on it. Steve Chason puts Yzerman to center ice. Clearing it in. Belfour whips it off the glass. Bounces free into the corner. Robert after it there, out to the near side, and Yzerman. He works his way in behind the Hawk net. Steve Yzerman walks in front, shoots, came right into the goal. Grayson, Belfour smothered it. And a gathering around the net, but everybody keeping their tempers under control for the moment. The game is still scoreless.
Puck though would have had enough momentum, I think, maybe to cross the line and go in. Only their 3rd shot of the game.
They're still on the power play. Chason, deep slot to Racine. Gave it to Yzerman. Couldn't kick it to the stick. Chelios was on it. Into the near corner goes Carson. Poked it loose, but right to Larmer. Clearing. Chason. Ahead for Yzerman over the line. Peels off, looking for Shepard. Didn't get to him. Poked free by Larmer out to center. And then Roenick cleared it. 1:15 left on the Red Wing power play. Shepard puts Carson over the Hawk line. Trying to get it to the corner, picked off by Smith. And he sends it back the other way. Nicholas Lidstrom to Racine, whose pass is stolen by Kravchuk. He got it to Graham. Graham to the Red Wing line. Lidstrom stopped him. And then the Hawks able to dump it in. Back comes Sergei Fedorov. Goulet stopped him. Yzerman carried on. Kravchuk rubbed him off on the board. Goulet clears. Half a minute for the Detroit power play. Lidstrom. Leaves it for McCrimmon. And McCrimmon. Out at the center. Stolen away by Kravchuk. Put back into Red Wing ice. Now Fedorov. Sends Colbert ahead. He gets the line. Peels off. just 2 minutes remaining in the opening period. Still no score in the game. As Jeremy Roenick tries to change that, feeding for Graham. He couldn't hang on to the loose puck. And then Miller shot it back into Chicago territory. Larmer. His pass broken up by Bob McGill. And Roenick carried on, looking for Graham. Oh, what a hit by Racine. Roenick really paid the price to try to send Graham in. But Racine got to him before he could make the headman pass. Very late in the first period, we're still scoreless.
Like he could play, Pat. He's
Boy.
amazing. He was a great defenseman of the New York Rangers, former Norris Trophy winner. He was the guy that coined the phrase. He last won it before Bobby Orr won it. He said, I think this is it. I think the next guy, can win it as many years as he wants.
He was. Was he the last stay-at-home type defenseman that won it before Orr, huh?
I said it. Last time he won this trophy for a long time.
Well, he certainly was right. Here's the
1
play in the
minute
Red
to play
Wing
in the
zone.
period.
The toe tied up in the corner. Noonan gets knocked down. Then Goulet picked it up for Noonan, far side. Ryan Noonan looks for Goulet. It was behind him. Ray Shepherd comes out for the Red Wing. Looking for Carson. He gets the line. Jimmy Carson dropped it to Racine. It didn't click. And then behind the net it goes. Pete Brown hammers it around the boards, down the length of the ice. And it'll be an icing call against the Blackhawks. They'll bring the draw all the way back to the right of Ed Belfour. And now there is maybe a timing question. Bill McCreary is coming over to the is being asked to come over to the penalty box area. We have 33 seconds showing on the clock. And McCreary wisely agreeing with the good doctor about the time left.
Face-off so important, even though it's a solid first period for the Blackhawks. Look back on the first period, look at their power play work, but also they did good penalty killing. Overall, pretty solid performance. They didn't give up any scoring chances to speak of. Edmonds have had 4 shots on goal, and now they put 3 more seconds back on the clock.
So 36 is what we have left in the opening period. Sutter and Yzerman to the right of Belfour. Here's the draw right to Probert, and his shot didn't get through. Nice job by Smith to get to his man, and Graham now bring it back into the Detroit zone. Lidstrom. Pounded by Lemieux, gets help from McCrimmon though. He looks for Mike Sillinger, who bounced it to the Hawk line. Yzerman racing after it. Gets to it against Graham in the corner. They crash together there. Then Yzerman dug it out to Lidstrom. 8 seconds, a long shot up off the glass. Yzerman in behind the wraparound. Belfour stops it, and he freezes it with only 3 seconds left.
Boy, Belfour, that shot just missed the top part of the net, and then he was totally confused where the puck was, then lost his footing and fell down. Was not up against the post. That shot hit him. He had no idea where the puck was. The shot from the point. Yzerman's in behind the net. Belfour does a complete 360 while he's on his knees, and the puck squirted through him but stayed right in front of him. But Belfour having some difficulty with his footwork. He got tangled up and got a break there with 2.9 seconds left.
We've seen it time and time again, Dale, that the Red Wing captain, Steve Yzerman, all he needs is a fraction of a second to create havoc. And there's one guy that plays all the time until the horn goes, and he almost did some damage in the last second or two.
He's so good in traffic and so good laterally. You better be alert. He quick stop behind the net, came out the other way, and that had Belfour with the happy feet. Yzerman like canned peaches on a plate. I haven't used that one this year.
Well, there goes the 92 version. And again, we have Bill McCreary coming over toward the penalty box. The minor officials tonight are from Winnipeg. And official. Let's see if he concurs with what the clock says, and apparently 2.9 is right. Face off now will be to the right of Ed Belfour. Yzerman and Roenick, and Lidstrom is poised behind Yzerman, hoping for a last-second crack at it. And here's the draw, laying free to the far side. That'll do it for the opening period. So the Red Wings able to get through this opening period tonight in better shape than they did in Game 3. Neither team able to dent the net in the opening 20 minutes of play here in Game 4. As both teams leave the ice, down by the Hawk locker room is our Darren Pang.
Well, thanks.
Dave, a very good man and one of the best body checkers to ever play the game.
The other routine he's got with that bow tie deal is pancakes. He thinks they're the lucky breakfast for. That's what he was eating for the comeback against Minnesota. Here we go now with the second period, as the draw is controlled by the Hawks. Chris Chelios. He gave it to Smith. Steve Smith able to shoot it into the Red Wing zone. On the near side, Graham, a quick shot. Cheveldae got back in time, and Sutter centered it. Lemieux tipped it into the line. A shot and a save by Cheveldae on Smith. Rebound to the far corner, and Fedorov chips it up the boards to Yzerman. Here come the Wings 3-on-2 if they hurry. Fedorov sends Yzerman over the line, cuts for the net, shooting, and a save by Belfour. Rebound in behind Fedorov, jammed it loose. Chelios picked off the pass though, and Lemieux clears it to center ice.
One of the few times in this whole series where the Blackhawks have given up an odd man break.
Chelios on feet for Larmer, trying to move it. Konstantinov, a good poke check, preventing a shot. Now Larmer works the near corner. Poked it free, but Yzerman there, clearing it out to the Hawk line. Now corralled by Konstantinov. Into the Chicago zone, a wrist shot and a blocker save by Belfour to Chelios, who sends it back into the Red Wing zone. And Chason will put the touch on it for an early icing call here against Chicago.
Well, the Hawks wanted to be aggressive, obviously, in their first shift. They got over-aggressive, got caught 3 minutes in the offensive zone, and the Red Wings come out on a 3-on-2 situation. Eisbart with a backhander, but Cheveldae makes one save on the first shot, and then the second shot by Steve Smith with the blocker. Cheveldae, the top of the circle, top of the goal crease, was able to deflect it away, and at the other end, a 3-on-2 counter. Steve Smith hustling back with his going forward, then finally switches to the backhand skate, and all of a sudden Eisbart's there in the backhand, and Belfour with a good early save.
Kravchuk and I'll wind it up. He comes motoring to center. He'll shoot it in. Armour jammed it out of the corner. Keith Brown couldn't find the handle with Yzerman bearing down on him. And then the Hawks put it in behind the Red Wing net. Chason around the boards. Mateau kept it in. Mateau centering. Didn't get to Armour. Then Roenick a wrap run and a save by Cheveldae. Rebound. Cheveldae held off Mateau, and then he covered it up. And Jeremy Roenick laying along the end boards.
McCurry still doesn't know. He's looking up front, and Roenick is down behind him. 3 whacks at it by Roenick. Tried the wrap around, and he's cut again, and that's probably bad news, but he tries the wrap around, gets his own rebound, then the third whack at it. He's cross-checked by Konstantinov, but nothing done as far as the penalty is concerned, and Cheveldae keeps it scoreless. Roenick started things off with a good hit, got the puck, stuffed, shot, and the rebound stopped, and then Mateau hacked at it, and somehow Cheveldae was able to keep it away from the goal line.
Boy, the Wings get a break here. Konstantinov goes in stick first on Roenick, just whacked him right across the mouth. And Roenick has been cut again. And McCreary, as you said, did not detect any of it. The play goes on. Here's the draw. That may bode well for Blackhawk fans. It seems like every time Roenick gets cut in the face, he comes back to score a big goal. We'll see if that pattern holds here tonight as the Red Wings ice one. We're still early in period 2, and we are still scoreless in the stadium. Face-off coming to the right of Tim Cheveldae. Sutter and Yzerman ready, and Sutter kicks the draw to Kravchuk. Had to go around the boards with it. Ryan Noonan to the near side, and down behind the net is Sutter, and he knocked the net off the moorings. So that automatically stops the play.
And Sutter with that face-off style of his, tying up the stick and then spinning his body into him, and then kicking it back to the top guy on the circle, which happened to be Kravchuk that time. Kravchuk made a smart play. Thought about shooting, but didn't have a clear alley with a guy rushing at him, so he kept it in. And now they ruled that it was knocked over or off the moorings by a Blackhawk player, so the face-off will go to the neutral zone. I'll tell you, Igor Kravchuk didn't impress early with the Blackhawks after coming over from the Olympics, other than scoring that winning goal. And then he had some real tough times in some games, giving up some goals. But he's had his best hockey in the St. Louis series and also in this series. He's been very steady.
He really has, even though he's a babe in terms of Stanley Cup playoff competition. He certainly knows what tough competition and world-class competition is all about, being one of the standouts for the Soviet Union team for many years.
You think that maybe the strike had something to do with him being rejuvenated after a strenuous preparation? The CIS team really worked hard conditioning to play a peak for the Olympics. They did peak, win the gold medal, and then all of a sudden he's over here with a whole new environment, not with his family, living in a hotel, and I think it had an effect on him. But the strike, I think, gave him a chance to rejuvenate.
Now in the Hog zone, Kravchuk and Fedorov, two former teammates, along the boards, and then Kravchuk shot it back into the Detroit zone. Taken by Brad McCrimmon. He ran out of room against Graham, but McCrimmon got it to Yzerman. He lost the handle behind that. Lemieux with a cannonball hit on Yzerman, but the Wings able to come up with it. And they dump it down into the Hog zone. Here's Greg Gilbert. His pass deflecting. Fedorov in traffic. Left it. Here's Burr with a shot. Didn't get through. Good play by Kravchuk to get out to him. And then Kravchuk got knocked down by Burr at center. However, Graham dumped it in.
Two good shot blocks by Kravchuk.
Brad Lauer, one of the Hawk unsung heroes in the playoffs to this point. Going to dump it in. The Wings move back. Here's Yzerman looking for Burr, and Steve Smith recovered to steal that one. Now back come the Red Wings. Yzerman into the Hawk zone. Stops trying to get around Chelios. He did. Chelios lost his stick. Oh, and then Yzerman just had the puck flutter as he's ready to shoot it. And it deflects up into the crowd.
I think Brad Lauer got there in time, too, to maybe get his stick in front of that shot after Chelios had lost his stick. Chelios partially beaten by Yzerman, who faked to the corner, came out to the middle. Chelios lost his stick and went for the move, and then I think Lauer was able to recover and deflect it. This is the man they have to shut down. It looks to me like he is the only guy that seems to be able to create any offense for the Red Wings tonight and most of the series. Well, they have to be very careful when he's on the ice. Mike Hudson has been doing such a great job on him. Hawks losing his speed and his forechecking ability with a pulled groin, and Goulet was in the lineup now.
Jason, a long flip shot, gloved by Belfour. Probert cruising through the slot, got a tiny piece of the Hawk goaltender. And it'll go without incident as everybody pulls apart. Still early in the second, still scoreless in game 4.
I tell you, used to drive Johnny Bauer nuts for the Toronto Maple Leafs was John Ferguson. Used to do the same type of thing. Very tough left winger for the Montreal Canadiens, and he used to go at him at every opportunity. And it seems to me that Probert wants to do it with Belfour.
Face off to the left of the Chicago net. Here's the draw taken by Roenick. Jeremy Roenick able to bank one back into the Red Wing zone. Konstantinov will have to play it. Vladimir Konstantinov clearing the center, and Marchment dumping it in. Chason now out to center. Yzerman was poke checked there in the toe, couldn't get the handle on it. Finally, Chason does, putting Yzerman over the line, slipped it to Probert, trying to center, picked off by Russell nicely. And Larmer starts Chicago back. Looking for Mateau, and Jason stopped him at center ice. Wings dump it back in. Belfour out to play it away from Sillinger, but Yzerman is there, walks into the slot, trying to center it. A diving block by Roenick, and then it's cleared back to the Red Wing zone. Jason sends it back into Chicago territory. Marchment for Goulet on the far side. He had difficulty with it. Now Gallant with a steal. Trying to center. Goes through the slot to McGill. He hacked at it. Belfour stopped the game. A rebound. Belfour the same rebound. He stopped another one. Two chances for the Red Wings, and then Belfour sprawling to his left to keep the game scoreless. But now I believe Detroit will head to the power play.
Well, Brian Marchment's going to get a penalty for cross-checking. And Marchment out there for over a minute at least. Couldn't get off the ice, and a tired Brian Marchment and a Hawk defense, and all of a sudden pressure. Alan Kerr thwarted by Belfour not once but twice. And the Red Wings coming on here as the Hawks are having some difficulty in their own zone, running around. Belfour gets a piece of it, then recovers nicely after losing it. And Alan Kerr was able to shoot it into Belfour. And Marchment will get the penalty for cross-checking. Shot hit Goulet and then hit Belfour and then went to Kerr. And fortunately for the Blackhawks, Belfour was able to get his glove on it while he was laying on his side. Well, the Red Wings got a chance to take their first lead with their third power play. Did not score on a 4-minute power play that they had in the first period when Sutter was sent off erroneously for high-sticking Steve Chiasson.
Now the draw in the Hawk zone. Sutter trying to clear it. Chiasson held it in though to Fedorov in behind center. Oh, good play by Belfour with a stick as Probert was alone in front of the net. Belfour tipped the pass away from him, and now Smith looking to clear it. Got too much, and it flipped up into the crowd. Ed Belfour, when he's on his game, he really uses that stick to great advantage. Not only playing the puck, but saving himself scoring chances against, like the way he just did there.
Yzerman tried to slip it out front to Probert, who was in front. Belfour angled his stick on the back end beautifully. Was able to deflect it away from the front of the net, and trouble.
Now the draw. Keith Brown around the boards with it. Racine unable to hold it in against Graham, and Sutter shot it the rest of the way down. Yves Racine up the left side to Bob Probert. Goes across to Fedorov. Stood up beautifully by Kravchuk at the line, and it deflects over the boards into the Red Wing bench. So Igor Kravchuk continues to be a very solid and capable defenseman for the Chicago Blackhawks. And now Jimmy Carson comes on the ice for the second half of this Detroit power play. And we touched on it right at the start of the game that Carson is a guy that the Red Wings need to come alive if they are going to stay alive in this playoff series. 1 assist for Carson in the first 3 games, and only 3 shots on goal coming into tonight. Brad McCrimmon deep in his own end. Got it out to center, and Ray Shepard steps to the Hawk line, weaving on the near side. Shepard put it across to McCrimmon. Tees it up with a long shot, deflected up over the glass into the crowd.
Chris Chelios, good recovery. A dangerous pass by Shepard. DeLarmer was right there, very nearly picked it off. Would have had a breakaway from the blue line all the way up the ice. Ed McCrimmon, the most experienced defenseman in the playoffs. Chris Chelios, the second most experienced. 116 games for Brad McCrimmon. Chris Chelios with his 114th appearance. Brad McCrimmon was one of the leaders in plus minus all throughout the regular season, and in the playoffs a -5.
And a little equipment repair here needed for the Blackhawk goaltender Ed Belfour.
I checked that -4, but he and Lidstrom were a dynamic duo throughout the year. Then Lidstrom is -5.
Here's the draw on the Red Wing power play. Chiasson scurries to keep it in, goes up the far side into the corner with it. Keith Brown chases it down. Couldn't get it out, though. Back of the net it goes. Shepard is there. Ray Shepard tried to center and hit Kravchuk. Over to the far boards. It's held in. Here's Shepard walking into the slot. Peels off. Dropped it to Chason. Far point. Across to Lidstrom on the near side. Side of the net to Shepard. Moves into the slot. Shooting. Didn't get through. Trickling in front. And the Blackhawks. Sutter able to clear it down.
The Blackhawks were lucky there. They were out of position. And it was a helter-skelter type situation. But they were able to recover nicely.
Carson over the Hawk line. Takes a look for Chase on touch pass to Lidstrom. His shot blocked by Goulet, who gets to it. Clearing. And now the Chicago penalty is over. Both teams are back at full strength. Here's a marksman steal right out of the box. Tried to feed Goulet. He didn't connect. Now bouncing into the Red Wing zone to Miller. Evan Miller feeds Burr, clearing it to center ice. Chelios quickly back over the Red Wing line, knocked down by Miller. And it results in an offside call against Chicago. 7 minutes gone in the second. We still have no score in Game 4. Back in Chicago Stadium, the scoreboard looks just like one of Dale Talon's plates after dinner. Spotless.
Doing a pretty good job yourself there.
You are correct. Here's the play now into the Hawk zone. The Red Wings dump it in. The Hawks able to dump it out. And Lemieux comes up the right wing boards. 3-on-3 to the line. Lemieux wrapped it for Smith. Clearing it up the near side. Lemieux. Center one. Chelios the drive. Chevrolet stop the rebound. Shot just wide by Noonan. Into the near corner. Miller. Evan Miller starts Detroit back. His feet picked off by Smith beautifully. He gave it to Gilbert. Dumping it into the Detroit zone. Racine starting back. His pass stolen, and Roenick gets back over the Red Wing line for Goulet. Cutting and shooting. He shot it just wide of the near post. And it caroms back to the neutral zone. Larmer. Feathered one too far for Goulet. Now back of the Red Wing net. Larmer gets to it. Leaves it there for Roenick. Roenick working against Miller. Kicks it loose. Goulet in traffic. Got help from Roenick to the backhand. Rolled it in front. Then got it himself and shot it just wide. Roenick has it again. Roenick poke check by Racine in the corner. Now they lock up along the boards. And Miller comes out of there with it and clears it out the length of the ice. And this will be an icing call against the Red Wing.
Goulet, Roenick, and Larmer played sparingly this season, but they had some brilliant games when they did play regularly together. And a good shift for them to put some pressure on the Red Wings. Michel Goulet just getting robbed by Chevrolet. Prior to that, Chelios with a good scoring chance, the best Blackhawks scoring chance of the period. Puck just eluded Lemieux and Noonan. A good job by Chelios to get that shot away. Red Wings just seem to be a step behind in their own zone when trying to get the loose pucks.
Here's the draw which Sutter wins to Mateau. Mateau to the near corner in on Probert trying to center one, a shot, and Brent Sutter's backhand went just wide. And then Sillinger failed to clear it. Here's Mateau in traffic. He chopped at it, couldn't connect. Finally Sutter gets to it, shooting up off the glass. And then Graham with a backhander that's blocked. Sillinger can't get to it. Again, the Hawks keep it in. Now Mateau knocked down in the corner. Was on the puck for a moment. Finally the Wings come up with it and clear to center as Bob Probert sends it into the Hawk zone. Greg Gilbert, or I should say Brent Sutter, shot it to center. Gilbert has it there and dumps it in. Probert on the left side. Put it into the center ice area. Sillinger racing after it. Tied up by Noonan. Then it's taken away by Lemieux. He sends Noonan to the Red Wing line. For Gilbert on the near side. He takes a look. His pass deflects right to Kravchuk. Oh, and he whipped a wrister up off the glass. Now Lemieux to the near point away from Keith Brown. And the Hawks have to regroup. We have reached the halfway point of regulation time in this fourth game of the series. The Wings have 9 shots on goal only. The Hawks have 15 so far tonight. Here's the play in the Hawk zone. Racine near point. A wrist shot. And a save by Belfour. He gave a rebound. There'll be a penalty. Keith Brown took down Sean Burr. And Brown will be sent off. Detroit will head to the power play. And neither team has scored yet in game.
Keith Brown gets a holding penalty at 10:06. And the Red Wings will get their 4th power play and 2nd of the period and 4th in a row. We're seen with the shot. Keith Brown comes in and spins the legs of Burr, and Burr goes down. As a result, the Hawks are shorthanded. Both teams now will have had 4 power plays. Halfway through the game, the penalty coming at 10:06. The Blackhawks in a critical penalty killing role. Did a great job earlier in this period when the marchment was set off for cross-checking.
Here's the draw. The long shot taken by Racine. Stopped by Belfour. Now behind the net. Carson looks to center. Didn't get it through. Steve Smith picks it up. Clearing. Lidstrom ahead to Racine. Long feed. Broke it up by Larmer beautifully. He knew where Racine was going to try to go with that. Now Racine trying to dump it in. It deflects off a stick over the glass into the crowd.
Racine, a former 1st-round pick who had some great numbers in junior with Victoriaville in the Quebec Junior League. Had 80+ assists his last junior year. He's a youngster with good mobility. Had 22 assists in the regular season, but was a -6. He's prone to turnovers in his own zone. Pressured. He tries to make that perfect pass a lot of the times when he's being harassed. If the one man is not open, the easy play, then he tries to manufacture something, and that's just inexperience. Most offensive defensemen coming into the league try to be perfect, too perfect in their outlet passes, and sometimes it gets them in trouble.
Now the draw on the Red Wing power play. Over to the far side it goes. Sutter gets there first. Works his way into the Detroit zone. Tied up on the boards. And now Lidstrom behind the Red Wing net. Nicholas Lidstrom for Steve Yzerman. Now Chason. He tries to dump it in. Couldn't get it through Chelios. Hawks clear it the other way. Larmer long shot. Oh, Cheveldae came out to play the puck, and it was an errant pass, and Larmer stole, and Cheveldae scurrying back toward the net, able to get there just in time to stop the Larmer chance.
Well, neither one of these teams have been very efficient on the power play. Red Wings were not very good in the power play against Minnesota. They were not very good in this one. They are 2 for 17, including tonight. But a turnover, a good hustle by the Blackhawk forwards throughout this whole penalty killing situation, but Larmer picks it up and almost beats Cheveldae to the net on the long wrist shot from inside the near blue line. Larmer upset with himself.
49 seconds for the Chicago penalty. Here's the draw. And Detroit's Brad McCrimmon sends Jimmy Carson on his way. Back to McCrimmon. He cleared it to center. Racine jams it in from there. He was short of center ice, it's ruled. The Wings are next to touch it. Icing waved off. Here's a long shot and a save by Belfour on a Racine wrister, and he gave no rebound.
Why was that not icing? Did Greg Gilbert fan on his clearing attempt? It looked like he got a piece of it anyway, but it was ruled it was not an icing call, and Belfour comes up with his toughest save of this power play situation. Oh, it was a good call. Fanned, and then the wrist shot. Not going to score many goals. Not very many guys are going to score a wrist shot from 40 feet. Belfour saw it all the way and left no rebound, so a face-off is left with 27 seconds left in the Red Wings' 4th power play.
Brent Sutter and Jim Carson will square him up. And Sutter got the draw. Behind the net, Belfour whipped it around the boards, deflecting past everybody to the Red Wing line. Here comes Carson. Tied up, then Shepard got over the line trying to shoot one, and a save by Belfour that may have been redirected by Keith Primo. What a save by Ed Belfour. I don't know how he could have had much of a look at that.
A dump towards the net, and I think it was knocked down maybe by Primo or Smith. Two big guys in front. Belfour just had the shot hit him. A chip shot by Shepard from just inside the line, knocked down by Steve Smith, and then it bounced straight up, knocked off the ice and bang right into the crest, and a good save by Belfour. Shepard might as well let it go to the front of the net because he's been hot. 6 goals for Shepard, including 2 in game 3.
Here's the draw in the Hawk zone to chase on. His long shot blocked by Roenick, who clears, and that'll take care of the Hawk penalty. Both teams now are back at full strength. Sean Burr will shoot it in. Roenick clears it to the center ice area. And now Larmer got to it. Feeding Goulet. Couldn't quite catch up with it. He and Konstantinov lock up in the corner. And the puck comes loose to Paul Yzerbark. He moves Detroit back 3-on-3. Here comes Sean Burr. In over the Hawk line. Burr left it for Fedorov. Spinning on Brown. He takes a look. Fedorov has to shoot it and to save the rebound. Belfour able to hold off the Red Wing Yzerbark. And the whistle sounds as he hangs on tightly to it. Down to 7 minutes left in the second period. Still no score.
Ed Belfour outstanding tonight. Both goaltenders haven't had a lot of work, but they've had to make some key saves. Red Wings able to carry the puck up the ice. Good movement. Sean Burr to Fedorov. Fedorov stops, spins around, loses Brown, and then turns and fires. And then Yzerbark on the rebound, or I should say Burr on the rebound of both times.
And now as Lemieux and Probert were wrestling heavily along the boards, I think it's Lemieux that's going to get the penalty, and he should. Now whether Probert gets one coming back is the question, but Lemieux delivered the first forearm shiver to Bob Probert's jaw, and Probert had thoughts of coming back on him, but as opposed to game 3, the Detroit player wisely backs off here.
Well, he holds Lemieux, elbows him. Lemieux gets a piece of him. They both grab each other. Lemieux gives him a shove. So does Probert. At worst, they should be offsetting penalties. So the Red Wings will get their 5th straight power play. Boy, McCreary, he likes to do things in a row. Last time we saw McCreary, the St. Louis Blues had 7 penalties in a row, or power plays in a row.
Well, Bob Probert, a negative factor in that type of situation in game 3 for Detroit. This time he backs off and gives his team a power play because of it. And the Red Wings have been coming on here in the last few minutes, and now they will head to another power play. Here's the draw taken by Lidstrom. Give it to Shepard, tied up on the near side. And the Red Wings have to regroup in their own end. Sergei Fedorov carries it back over the Hawk line, looking for Yzerman. He shot it in behind the net. Graham tied up in the far corner by 2 Red Wings. It's dug out to the deep slot. Lidstrom looks for Yzerman, shooting. Belfour rebound. Belfour stops Shepard. And now the Wings hold it in. Here's a long shot. That's blocked by Chelios. Fedorov got to it. Looking for Yzerman behind the net. Chelios is on him. Poked it loose. Fedorov keeping it in. Deep slot to Chason. Right back to Fedorov. Far point. Walks in. Faking. Into the corner. Yzerman centered one. And it came through the goal mouth. Now back of the net. Yzerman. Out to the near point. Chason. Across to Fedorov. Far board. Fedorov pass hit a leg. Bouncing to Chason. Graham hounding him, but Chason held the puck. Put it into the far corner. Chelios tied up by Shepard. Then Yzerman got to the loose puck. Yzerman rolled it free to Fedorov. Here's Chason, deep slot. He lets it go. Belfour the save, and he gave no rebound. And Belfour sparkling against this Detroit power play, and he's had to in a scoreless game. Belfour's made 3 great saves on this power play sequence.
Was brilliant on Shepard's rebound attempt earlier. Makes a save on Chason's long shot, and important part of that save, no rebound. And when Ed Belfour's on, he leaves no rebounds. He just challenges and everything sticks to him. That time he just cradled the puck with 45 seconds left on Detroit's 5th straight power play.
How many belly pads do you think he goes through in a year? You said it exactly. That's the type of save he makes when he's on. He's able to cradle the puck and usually takes it right in the midsection and manages to hold it there. Here's the draw. Held in by Racine. His long wrist shot hit Belfour in the head, I think, and it's cleared back the other way. The partial screen provided by a Red Wing, and Belfour impaired a bit by that, but I think that long flip shot hit him in the headgear. Now the Red Wings with 20 seconds left on their power play. Here's Chason in his own end. Ahead for Carson. Touch pass to Burr. Sean Burr to the Hawk line. Center one. Oh, just too far for Probert. He would have been in. Here's Racine on the near side. Trying to center one. Bouncing puck held in by Chason. A long wrist shot. Hit Burr. Then Burr put it in front. Carson fanned on the shot. Big scramble. Belfour covered it. And the penalty is over. Both teams back at full strength. The Hawk penalty killers backstopped by Ed Belfour. Keep the game scoreless.
Ed Belfour coming up big for the Blackhawks in this second period because of 3 power plays by the Red Wings. Chason backs off, just flips it towards the net. Deflects the Burr to Carson. Carson goes to tee it up with a screen, and he fanned on it, and Belfour, with the help from Keith Brown, was able to make sure.
Kravchuk had trouble behind the net. Wings keep it in. Konstantinov's shot is blocked. Then he held it in. Put it into the corner. Gallant. Gerard Gallant tries to center. Graham picked it up. Dirk Graham sends Roenick ahead. He's got Grimson. Grimson over the line. The wrist shot goes wide. Now into the corner it goes. Konstantinov hounded by Jeremy Roenick. A couple of others join in. Roenick still trying to find some room to get out of there with it. Kicks it loose to Grimson. His shot stopped by Cheveldae. Playing it to McCrimmon. And he clears it back into the Hawk zone. Chelios will send it back into the Red Wing end. Konstantinov puts it around the boards. Burr tipped it to center. Smith will send it right back in there. Back of the net, McCrimmon. Brad McCrimmon kicks it loose along the boards. Noonan tied up in traffic. Wings come up with it. And Paul Isabart cleared it to center. Konstantinov's pass missing. Burr sliding the length. Chelios puts the touch on it for an icing call against Detroit. With 3.5 left in the second period, still no score.
Stu Grimson getting his first work of the night. Gets a good shot on Cheveldae, and Peluso comes right after to take a dive. Was hooked, took a dive. McCreary didn't go for it. Then Noonan was hooked and taken to the ice. McCreary looked away. Hawks are going to have to do it on their own. I don't think they're going to get much more help the rest of the night.
Now the draw in behind the Red Wing net. McGill trying to clear. Chelios held it in. His pass picked off by Primo, though. And now Shepard feeds ahead. Carson weaving to the near side. His attempted pass deflected off a leg back to center ice. And Racine gave it to Primo. Primo over the Hawk line in on Chelios. Chelios bodied him into the corner. Carson in there after it. Lemieux gave him a rough ride. And Chelios comes up with a puck. Gave it to Smith. Steve Smith over the Red Wing line, trying to get in. He got around to Chuck. He pulled down. There'll be a penalty against Bob McGill. Steve Smith went one-on-one with McGill, undressed him, and McGill had to pull him down. And the Hawks will get a late power play in the second period.
Steve Smith has been brilliant defensively, and he'll surprise you offensively. Long reach, he slipped it through the skates of McGill. He tried to get a piece of him, upended him, put the stick between his legs, and a penalty for tripping. Steve Smith went coast to coast and almost got the first goal of the game. So now the Blackhawks will get a power play, their first power play in a long time since the middle part of the first period. Penalty coming at 17-18. McGill getting the tripping call. Knocks 2 for 24. In this series.
And a key opportunity here very late in the second period. Each team has taken turns with multiple power plays. The Hawks had 4 in a row to start the game. The Red Wings had 5 in a row late in the first and first part of the second period. Now that sequence is broken by the Hawk power play, and the crowd sensing a big opportunity here, trying to get the Hawk power play on track. And 4 forwards here for Keenan. He goes with Sutter, Mateau, and Roenick in front. Larmer's working a point along with Smith. Here's the draw, and the Wings win it and clear it. We haven't seen this for a while, but Steve Larmer has worked a point on a couple of occasions during the regular season, so it's not completely unfamiliar territory to him. Roenick at center ice, turned around by Chason, and now Larmer able to pick it up, meeting Roenick over the line. Roenick on the far side gets help from Mateau, poked it into the far corner. Sutter back around the boards, held in by Smith at the line, near point to Larmer. His long shot deflecting over the glass. And there's one other game going on tonight in the playoffs. Jim Blaney has an update.
You look at an explosive player in the playoffs, Peter Klima. He can turn it on. He's had a tough season, but he's had some pretty good playoff years with the Edmonton Oilers. He was a big factor against the Bruins a few years ago when they won the Stanley Cup.
2 minutes left here in period 2. Still no score. The Hawks are on the power play. Graham tied up at center, bounces loose to Roenick. Roenick over the line, cuts in, dropped it back to Graham, fires, and it's a rebound. Oh, it's chopped away from Roenick. Lidstrom saved a goal by chopping that rebound away from Roenick's stick, as he had Chevalier out of the net.
Good save there by Chevalier on Dirk Graham's blast. And a fine play by Lidstrom to prevent Roenick from hacking the loose puck into the empty net.
Kravchuk shoots it back in there. Chevalier put it up the near side. Chelios keeping it in. His long wrist shot. Tip! Oh, and then it hit McCrimmon on the way. McCrimmon to the near corner. Had it taken away. Goulet tries to center. Hits the leg. Now Graham has it. Dirk Graham to the line. Chelios walks along the line. Then his pass is deflected and stolen by Sillinger, who cleared. One more rush on this Hawk power play as we enter the final minute of the second period. Long backhand pass from Chelios to Lauer. Tied up by Chason along the board. Fedorov came out of there with it. And the power play is over. Both teams are now back at full strength as the Red Wings cleared into the Hawk zone. Belfour put it off the glass and out. Now Chelios had it stripped away. Here's Shepard over the line shooting. Smith blocked it, then burst, and Fedorov, and he might have got the crossbar. Steve Smith made a great shot block, then Fedorov had a chance. It looked as if it hit either the shaft of Belfour's stick or the crossbar and went upstairs.
Burr strips it from Chelios. Shepard goes to the slap shot. Steve Smith with a lot of courage blocks the shot. It goes back to Sean Burr, who makes a great play. Slips it over to Fedorov. Fedorov with a great wrist shot hit the crossbar and had it deflect up into the seats. Well, the Red Wings very dangerous in the remaining last seconds of the period. They were dangerous late in the first, and again dangerous here with 20 seconds left in the second.
I tell you, Dale, we've from time to time shot some arrows in the direction of some of the Detroit players that the Red Wings need to come up big offensively. Ray Shepard tonight is not one of those guys. He has been a very inspired Detroit player and maybe has had as many or more good scoring chances as anybody else on his team.
Well, he had 2 goals in the last game, and obviously he's very confident. He's had 6 in the playoffs. One of those, he scored a hat trick in the series against Minnesota in one of those games.
Off the draw, it's in the Hawk zone. Sutter comes back to center. Rush was broken up there, and now here's a chance for Smith. Final seconds to Larmer. Oh, the pass just hit him in the leg, and Karam behind him, and the last second chance for the Hawks goes for naught as the second period comes to an end, and neither Tim Cheveldae. His pass deflecting away from Lemieux, taken by Lidstrom. Goes up the middle, nice touch pass. Burr is in. Sean Burr, a breakaway shooting, and a save by Belfour. He came out to challenge him and made a key save early in the third. Here's Chelios the other way for Lemieux. His shot, Cheveldae fought it off, just got a piece with the glove. Lemieux got all of that. Now Burr for Detroit. Put it around the boards, and a crashing blow in the corner between Lemieux and McCrimmon. Under the puck is cleared out to center. Here come the Red Wings. Burr's pass hit Chelios, and he managed to feed Sutter. Brent Sutter clears it into the Red Wing zone. The Hawks head for a change. Konstantinov the other way. Slips it back into the Hawk zone. Back in the Hawk zone. It's in the corner. Probert jammed it loose to Sillinger. Mike Sillinger along the boards. Now with a wrist shot, Belfour stopped him. Rebound back to the corner. Roenick able to clear it up over the glass into the crowd.
Well, a quick start by both clubs. The Red Wings get the first chance with Burr breaking in on the left side. Makes a brilliant save on, or Belfour makes a good save on Burr. And then Cheveldae makes an excellent save on Lemieux. And then Belfour on Sillinger. So both teams trading blows here in the early going, with the Red Wings getting two good chances. It's Chelios with the puck after getting caught up ice, allowing Burr to get a chance. Counters to Lemieux. Lemieux muscles one on Cheveldae, and he just got enough of it. Belfour right off the bat, though, makes a good save on Sean Burr. And Dirk Graham was able to
chase on a long shot. Belfour stopped him off the draw, and Noonan's going to get a penalty. Great save by Ed Belfour, lunging to his left after the Red Wings won a draw. Yzerman got it, and Detroit to the power play, trying to break a score.
Red Wings win a face-off, get a scoring chance. Chase on with the long shot, the rebound attempt, and Brian Noonan pulls up the Red Wing player, and a penalty and a power play. The sixth power play of the night for the Red Wings. They're 0 for 5. Both teams have had 5 chances with the man advantage.
Here's the draw now in the Hawk zone, taken by Yzerman. Walks over to the far circle with it. Had to flip it around the board. Smith picks it off. Trying to go up the middle. He couldn't get it out. Here's Yzerman. And a save by Belfour. Rebound to the far side. Taken by Chelios. He got help from Graham to bang it to center ice. Now Graham gets to it. In on Lidstrom. And his shot deflected wide by Lidstrom. Sutter chasing behind the Red Wing net. Tied up there. And now Lidstrom for Detroit. Here's it ahead to Chason. Steve Chason, look out. They tried to dump it in and hit the glass awkwardly and deflected back into the crowd.
What a start for Ed Belfour. Brilliant in the second. Great finish for him in the second, and an unbelievable start. He has made 4 tremendous saves. And he stopped Burr, Sillinger, Chason, and Yzerman on that last crack. Steve Smith tried to go up the middle, was picked off by Shepard, and it deflected right to Yzerman. Yzerman tried to go high with the shot, and Belfour made the save and made another attempt while he was on the seat of his pants.
Brad McCrimmon sends it ahead to Racine. Larmer made him turn, then Larmer nearly stole it, but Cheveldae out to clear it free to McCrimmon. And there's a minute left on the Red Wing power play. Carson and Probert to center. His pass was behind his teammate Burr, and it results in an offside call against the Red Wings.
Well, the very thing we talked about with the youngster Racine, he's prone to those types of plays, trying to make a perfect pass through someone, and Larmer was able to intercept and almost get a scoring chance while shorthanded. .57 seconds remaining on the penalty to Noonan.
Yzerman, Eisenbart, and Miller to finish the Red Wing power play with Lidstrom and Chason. Steve Yzerman, in his career in the playoffs, has played 16 games against the Hawks. He scored 10 goals and 21 points. And now here's a Hawk forechecker yanked down, and there'll be a penalty against the Red Wings. Chason, and he knows it. Oh, each team has a penalty here early in the third. We still have no score.
Steve Chason dejectedly looking away in the penalty box. Cheveldae comes out to play it. Goulet hooked from behind. Down he goes, flailing with legs and arms. It results in a power nullification of the power play, and Hawks will have a brief power play of their own in 40-some seconds.
For now, 4 skaters aside as the Red Wings. Sergei Fedorov looking to wind it up. Lost the handle. And it was tipped back in over the line with Goulet not having cleared yet. And Brad McCrimmon just tried to step on Goulet's stick and break it. Goulet with a bemused look on his face. I don't think he's had that happen a whole lot in his career. They've tried to stop him a lot of ways, but I'm not sure how many times they've tried to step on his stick and break it.
The new buzzsaw play by McCrimmon. Skilled chainsaw blade.
Now the draw. Bouncing around at center ice. Fedorov comes up with it. Poke checked by Brown nicely, but then Fedorov got it back. Looking for an opening, now cleared it ahead. Here's Racine over the line. Brown able to stand him up nicely, and Kravchuk took it away. Kravchuk tied up. Yzerman stolen it, cuts into the backhand, and a save by Belfour. Rebound taken by Graham. Now here's Noonan out of the box. Graham over the line, gave it to Noonan, he's in! Couldn't hold the pass. Noonan had it roll off the end of his stick just as the puck came to him, and he would have had Cheveldae to himself. A Hawk power play here for a minute. Noonan in the deep slot. His pass deflecting, bouncing. Goulet chopped at it, but it winds up in behind the net. Yzerman unable to clear it from there. And now he does get it to center ice.
Yzerman's clearing attempt, almost deflected in and past Cheveldae into his own net.
And then a dump in does deflect it up over the glass into the crowd.
The Red Wings get a chance as the penalty expires, and then Hawks are able to counter as Dirk Graham was able to get to the loose puck, put Noonan in, and Noonan with the pass pick up on his backhand, took his eye off it, and it slipped off the end of his stick and wide of the net. He didn't even get a shot off.
Red Wings with 5 shots already here in the third period, and Ed Belfour has continued to shine here in game 4.
Yzerman with a couple of quality chances. That was a good save on Yzerman's backhand attempt through a screen, but then the Hawks were able to counter.
Here's the draw. Smith up the near side to Roenick. Dropped it back to Smith at the line. Tees it up. Shooting. Cheveldae stopped it. Rebound Chelios. Put it around the boards. Roenick chases it down. Now looking for Larmer. Tipped it into the slot, but Burstall that gave it away to Roenick. Roenick had the puck roll away from him as he was ready to pass it. Now into the near corner it goes. And the Wings. Konstantinov trying to fend off 2 Hawks. Sutter got the puck centering. Berg picked it up and couldn't get it out. Sutter trying to center one. Owen Larmer just missed redirecting that. Now the Red Wing penalty's over. Here's Sillinger in over the Hawk line with a drive. Sailing wide. It deflected wide off of Smith. And both teams now are back at full strength. McGill shoots it in. Chelios puts Lemieux to center. Stop there, and Gilbert chases it down. Sends it into the Detroit zone. Bob McGill lost the handle. Here's a centering pass deflecting. Russell couldn't hang on to it. Now the Wings are off 2-on-1 if they hurry. Primo in over the line. Lets it go. Diving shot blocked by Marchment. His partner Russell got caught, and Brian Marchment, a sprawling shot block. 5 minutes gone. Still no score in the third.
Brian Marchment and Russell used sparingly tonight. Russell gets caught, And Brian Marchment makes a great defensive play, stays in the middle, stick out in front, then dives in front and got a piece of that shot that deflected up off the stick and off the glass and into the seats.
Puck shot into the Red Wing zone. The race is on, and who did the Hawks touch it to save icing? They did. Hustling play by Noonan. Now into the corner, Mateau against Konstantinov. Stefan Mateau lost the handle to Primo. And now Carson for Detroit. Jimmy Carson works it over the Hawk line, weaving to the far side, and to send it around the boards. Primo looks to center, bouncing puck right to the goal crease. Belfour there, and he hangs on.
Great play, a smart play by Belfour to slow things down with the puck scooting across the front of the goal crease. Jimmy Carson enabled across the line, backhand dump in up front. Primo hacked at it, came across it. Belfour put the glove on it. And the Hawks will put 5 new people on the ice for this important face-off. Every face-off becoming extremely important with 15 minutes or under 15 minutes to go. Dave Lewis diagramming a play to Konstantinov.
Sutter and Yzerman will get ready for the draw. Here it is. Probert lifts it behind the net. Gray in there. Leads Sutter. Brent Sutter will dump it in, hoping for Gilbert, who gets to it. Gilbert centered, one shot. They blocked the pass. The Crimmin cleared it out of trouble. Now in behind the net. Here's Graham. He left it there, missing Gilbert. And now Lindstrom couldn't get away from Graham. But Probert able to help out for the Red Wings. His pass bouncing free to center ice. Brad McCrimmon shooting it in. Chelios got it to Smith. Here's McGill going down. He tackled a man here over the line. Is Roenick shooting right on, and a save by Cheveldae. The Hawks should have had a 2-on-1 there. Bob McGill fell down at center, but then he partially held up one of the Hawk players who would have been off with Roenick, and it was a 1-on-1 instead.
Goulet would have been off. Smith was hooked. McGill just takes down Goulet. No penalty called. Goulet had to pick himself up, enabling Roenick to come in and use the defenseman as a screen, and shot it right into Cheveldae. Cheveldae went down on his knees and got the body in front of it, keeping it a scoreless tie. With 13-14 left in the third period.
Face-off will be to the right of Tim Cheveldae. Now everybody ready. Lemieux and Fedorov. Wings get the draw. On the far side, Noonan. Bounce one all around the boards. Konstantinov, a rough ride from Lemieux. Then it's stolen by Noonan. Shooting. Cheveldae rebound. Cheveldae stopped Lemieux. What a game Jocelyn Lemieux is playing. And that is not a scoop. He has been just a terrific performer right through in the playoffs.
Great save by Cheveldae. Good hit by Lemieux, creating the turnover. First Konstantinov and then Fedorov to Noonan. The quick shot through a screen. Cheveldae made the save, and then Lemieux just muscled his way into the crease away from Konstantinov, and Cheveldae put the glove behind his legs. He wasn't quite sure where the second attempt went.
10th game of the playoffs for Lemieux and the Hawks. He's got 3 goals and no assists, but the contributions far outweigh those numbers. Face off to the right of the Red Wing net. Now the draw to the near side, taken by Chason. 7 minutes gone by here in the third period. Still no score in this hockey game. Each team with 24 shots to this point. It's a Cheveldae-Belfour duel so far. Here's Sutter into the corner, centering. Cheveldae blocked the pass. Now Burr will clear it back the other way. It'll be an icing call against the Red Wings.
Hawks really coming on now, starting to forecheck and put pressure on the Red Wings. They do it in a smart fashion. Always have that safety valve, third man deep, so he can either get a chance to score or a chance to recover and help the defense in a defensive role. Veteran line here with Gilbert, Graham, and Sutter doing the job on this shift.
And after a very good last shift, only a single shift later, here comes Lemieux with Mateau and Noonan right back out there. Kravchuk and Konstantinov. How small the world has become. They were a defense pairing for 5 years with the former Russian team. Now finding themselves as opponents here in North America. Here's the draw in. Smith at the near point. Long flip shot, hit a leg to McCrimmon. He bangs it to center. Hawks throw it back in there, and McCrimmon has it again. And McCrimmon puts it off the glass and out. Chelios back into his own end. Whipped it up the near side, and Lemieux took a hit, tried to make a play. It was just, he just eluded Noonan, however. And here's Smith. Shot it to center ice, and Kevin Miller dumps it back into Chicago territory. Here's Chelios. Here's Chelios. Looking for Roenick. He got away from Gallant. And out to center ice it goes. Here's Roenick getting over the Red Wing line. Shooting. It hit McCrimmon's stick and deflected wide. And Kerr flipped it back to the center ice area. Roenick shooting it back in there. On the far side, Burr. Sean Burr sends Fedorov over the Hawk line. Fedorov in on Kravchuk. He poke checked him. Kravchuk did. Then Fedorov got it back. Moves behind the net. Tries to center. It didn't get there. And then Burr threw it in front. It hit the backside of Kravchuk, caroming wide. And Keith Brown for Chicago. Up the far side, Larmer chipped it to the Red Wing line. Brent Sutter now. Starts it away to Kravchuk. Kravchuk flips it in there. Konstantinov back. Gilbert wrapped him up on the boards. Graham poked it loose behind the goal. Chase on, beaten to it by Sutter. He leaves it for Graham. But the Red Wings, Carson got there first. And then Eisenbach sends a long feed to Primo. Primo into the Hawk zone, got rid of Marchment to the corner. Primo centered one, and Belfour swats it out of harm's way. And the Hawks start back. Marchment leads the rush over the line. He tried to go right through McCrimmon. Nothing doing there. And it's cleared back into the Hawk zone. And we have played 50 minutes of scoreless hockey. There's Mateau. Carries it over the Detroit line. Mateau to the far side. Whipped it around the boards. Noonan with some room on the near board. Into the corner, Mateau. Nobody in front of the net for the Hawks. Now Noonan along the boards. Takes a look. Shooting at it. Saved by Chevrolet. Rebound Chelios. He got turned around in the corner. Now help from Mateau. He's tied up. And the Red Wings, Probert comes out of there with it. Feeding Shepard. Shepard over the Hawk line. Put it to Yzerman looking for Probert. The shot. Belfour the save. Rebound to the near side. Smith knocked down. He wants to get a whistle. He does. Falling on top of the puck. 51 minutes have been completed in Game 4. And the Blackhawks and the Red Wings continue to duel away.
You guys.
A little pushing and shoving after that last sequence, and Lemieux and Probert are going to be sent off here. So at 10:44 the third period, coincidental minors are called to two physical and combative players, Jocelyn Lemieux and Bob Probert.
First time tonight we've had coincidental minors.
Roenick, Goulet, and Larmer against Yzerman, Gallant, and Sillinger. Here comes Larmer over the Red Wing line. The long shot. Oh, he Tried the changeup, didn't get much on that shot, but Chevrolet still had to stop it. Back of the net is Yzerman. Looking to clear to center, he did. Now Konstantinov for Detroit. Shot it into the Hawk zone. Taken by Keith Brown. Now Larmer. Shot it to the Detroit line, and Racine put it back the other way. Jeremy Roenick. To Gilbert dumping it in. Burr on it. Sean Burr wrapped it around the boards back into the Hawk zone. Taken by Marchment to Sutter. He ran into Burr at center ice. Now Russell for the Blackhawks. He'll get it in there. Gilbert on the far board, kicked it loose to Sutter. He's tied up. Burr came up with it. Sending it back into the Hawk zone. The race is on. Fedorov's going to get there first. He's got Yzerman, and he shot it wide. Yzerman in deep. He had to try to just redirect it, and he tipped it wide. Here's McGill trying to shoot one. It's blocked by the Hawks marksman. And the Wings hold it in, but then a Graham steal. And Dirk Graham works 2-on-2 to the Red Wing line. Gets the line, shooting. And a save by Chevrolet. And he hangs on. As Gilbert leveled by McGill after the fact. But no damage done, and we now have 7.5 left in regulation time. Nothing.
The Red Wings squander a great opportunity. Fedorov with explosive speed got to a puck, got it out to Yzerman, who missed the net, and the Blackhawks were able to counter. But first Fedorov just pulled away, got there before Russell, slipped it to Yzerman, who was alone, and he shot it high and wide.
And the Hawks come out with Noonan, Lauer, and Peluso. Look for some banging and crashing here as the draw is in the Red Wing zone to Carson. Carson, Shepard, and Primo for Detroit. Here's McCrimmon. Looking to clear. It did bounce to center, and Primo gets in. Got Smith turned around. Primo cuts in, centering. Just missing. Carson, another great chance the Wings couldn't cash in on. Now a shot. Shot wide by Detroit's Shepard. And back at center is Carson. Bouncing around. Here's a steal by Chelios. He flipped it in there. Chevrolet puts it up the far side. Chelios got away from Primo. Here's Chelios for Roenick. Oh, and he shot it up off the glass. What a great play by Chelios, but Roenick's one-timer just missed the net. Primo gave it away to Chelios. He got around a check, sending Roenick over the line. Roenick the shot, saves Chevrolet, and he holds it with Larmer and Goulet crashing the net.
Well, we said this was going to be a great third period. We have not been disappointed. Each team, each shift, one team takes control, and the other team counters. Roenick missing the net with a blast. Chevrolet ducking out of the way after Chelios eluded a check first from Primo, then got the puck out front. The one-timer just over the crossbar. If it's a little bit lower, it's 1-0. And then Roenick countering again, coming up the near side, let one go, trying to get it out front for a possible deflection. And Chevrolet beat everyone to it with a good glove save.
And again, the stadium fans trying to rev it up. We're very close to an overtime situation right here now with 6.5 left in the third. No score in the game. Face off in the Red Wing zone to Kravchuk. The shot. He dribbled it wide. And then Probert able to chip it to the Hawk line. And then a two-line pass made by the Hawks, says Ron Finn. And the whistle sounds. 6.5 remaining in the third period. No score. Face-off just inside the Chicago line. Pat Foley and Dale Talent in the stadium. Hope you're enjoying it. We've had a dandy game 4 here tonight. The Red Wings battling for their lives. They've gotten great work from Tim Chevrolet. The Hawks looking for a sweep. Have gotten excellent work from Ed Belfour. That's why we have no score. Each team has had a pile of chances. But the goaltenders have been brilliant to this point. Here's a weak shot handled by Belfour. Put it into the corner. Yzerman there. Jammed it loose. Here's Sillinger to the near corner with it. Mike Sillinger, the rookie, leaves it there. And Probert couldn't find it. Now Lemieux goes crashing along the boards and jammed it free to center. Racine was the man that Lemieux just went right through. Wings dump it in. They were short of center. However, it's ruled to be an icing call against Detroit.
Well, Racine got leveled by Lemieux. Where does he find the energy? Keeps banging and crashing and just keeps digging harder and harder every shift.
Getting utilized a lot here in the third period, with the Hawk coaching staff recognizing the effort he's put forth, and he's certainly the type of guy that the stadium fans have come to love because of his blue-collar ethic. He doesn't do things in a pretty way. He just gets them done.
Well, Lemieux all over Racine that time like moths to a porch light. Leveled him. What a shoulder hit, Racine.
The porch light needs a new bulb. Here's the draw in the Red Wing zone. Yzerbark put it around the boards. Burr chopped it to center. Roenick sends it back in there. There's Lidstrom. Gave it to Racine. It was well covered by Roenick. Racine forced to circle in deep. Now sends Fedorov to center. He's got Yzerbark on the move. Tried to feed him. Yzerbark didn't have a stick on the ice. He was had a head of steam going. Now here's Fedorov keeping it in. Steve Smith wrapped him up though, and Goulet put it around the boards, and then it wound up in the crowd. Down to 5 minutes left in the third period.
You have to watch out for these two guys, Fedorov and Yzerman, and it looks like Fedorov's found a step from the last game.
Stevie Wonder has pulled off a lot of miracles for this Red Wing team, and they're hoping their captain can come through again. He's had a bunch of good chances in this game. Meanwhile, there's some chances out west too. Jim Blaney has an up. An anxious Brian Murray looking at a face-off to the left of Belfour. Here it is to McCrimmon. McCrimmon in on Gilbert. Got away from him. Shoots. And a save by Belfour. Brad McCrimmon. Not known for his offense the last few years. Got a step on his check, and Belfour had to come up with a key stop again.
Playing the right point, the left-hand shot. Face-off won by the Red Wings. McCrimmon goes along. Gilbert tries to hook him, but misses him. McCrimmon shields the puck beautifully with the body and the backhand, and then flips it on the forehand, and Belfour makes another good save. He had a half a dozen quality saves in this period. Shot total says 11. Chicago shot 7. Red Wings, but I would say the Red Wings have had a few better chances.
There's the draw, cleared to the Detroit zone. Lidstrom on it. Now McCrimmon. His pass deflecting back to the neutral area. Hawks dump it in. And McCrimmon tries again. Puts it off the boards to center. Shepard put it ahead to Primo. He's got Carson. Oh, Carson was behind his check, and Keith Brown got in the way of that pass where Carson was in. Lemieux the other way. Lemieux in the corner. Trying to jam it out of there, but the Red Wings are on it. And Shepard a long feet two-line pass. And Primo well ahead of the checkered red line before that puck got to him and the whistle sound.
Primo's had a strong game and played pretty solidly in these playoffs.
4:15 left in a scoreless third period. Over the glass into the crowd, and Goulet looking toward Bill McCreary, but he will not get any sympathy from the official in that sequence.
I will just stick to basics and forget about any penalties here. Goulet yanked down. Second time in this period he's been yanked down. He went to try and spin, but was pulled down. The puck shot at by Roenick. A Red Wing stick and another face-off.
This one will be to the left of Tim Cheveldae. Sutter, Graham, and Gilbert now up over the boards for Chicago. Burr, Fedorov, and Yzerbark for the Red Wings. Sutter got the draw to Keith Brown with a long shot. Hit somebody and deflected up high. And then Konstantinov hoisting it out to center ice. And it was knocked down by Greg Gilbert with a stick above the shoulder, said Ray Scampanello. So another whistle. Greg Gilbert, a veteran of postseason wars, most of them with the Islanders, but 95 playoff games for Gilbert now. And since he's returned to the Hawk lineup, he's certainly been a big plus.
He's so steady and he's so smart as far as being a third man and reading a situation. This veteran line with Sutter at center and Graham and Gilbert on the wings has done a good job here in the third period. Now Sutter gets a breather and Lemieux comes in to play center.
Racine shoots it in. Kravchuk back. And now Dirk Graham got it loose to Gilbert at center. He'll dump it in. Racine. For Sillinger on right wing. Cleared it ahead. Here's Yzerman moving in on Kravchuk. Yzerman got around him, comes in, and then he was poke checked by Keith Brown. There's McCrimmon at the line. Moving around the boards. Yzerman behind the net trying to move in on Brown. Keith Brown wrapped him up beautifully, and then Graham cleared it back into the Detroit zone. Yzerman back over the Hawk line. Gilbert got to him. Goulet did. It's cleared the other way. Roenick hustling. Beaten to it by Konstantinov. They crash in the near corner. Now behind the net came loose. Here's Goulet out to the line. Chelios. Here it comes. Tip. Cheveldae the save rebound. Kicked at. Goulet off the goal post. Then the rebound. It hit Cheveldae. Didn't even know where it was. They still hack. McCreary has lost sight of it. The whistle has sounded. And the Blackhawks just came within an inch twice of scoring.
Well, Goulet thought he had scored. So did Steve Larmer, thinking he had scored. Man, you can't get any closer than this. McCreary loses sight. Roenick, second effort. Goulet out to the Chelios at the point. He lets it go. The puck is on edge. It hits Primo. Changes directions. Cheveldae makes the save. Swats at it. Kicked at by Larmer. Then Goulet takes it, thinking he had scored. Hits the post. It comes across the line. The other side. He puts his arms up. It doesn't go across the line. And then Larmer, while he was down, had a whack at it, and it didn't quite get to the post. We'll take a look at it from behind the net. Cheveldae makes the save. Larmer kicks at it. Goulet hits it off the post and out the other side, parallel to the goal line, an inch from the goal line, and stays out.
Perfect positioning by Bill McCreary to make that call. And on two occasions, the Hawks come within an inch of taking the lead in this very late stage of the third period. Face-off will be to the right of Tim Cheveldae, and the owner of the Red Wings, Mike Ilitch, hoping beyond hope that he can see another playoff game for his team back in Joe Louis Arena. Sutter and Fedorov ready. Here's the draw to the wings. Isabard hoisting it to the Hawk line. Ryan Noonan lost the handle. Back of the Hawk net it goes. Chelios cleared it to an open wing. It's held in by McCrimmon. Here's his long shot. Belfour stopped it and gave no rebound. And Hawks would like to get reorganized after getting a little out of position in that sequence.
Well, had possession and time on the far side, but Brian Noonan with a soft little deflection to try and get Sutter the puck, and it was intercepted. You got to be a little stronger than that in this type of a situation.
Two minutes and 20 seconds left. And the face-off will be to the left of Belfour. All of these coaches look so calm behind the bench. I wonder what's going on in the pits of their stomachs. Imagine the guts are churning. Here's a long shot from Racine. Belfour gave a rebound. Primo, and he stopped him. Pete Primo had the rebound chance, and at Belfour with two more saves to add to his total.
Steve Larmer had a blowout in the corner in his attempt to get to the puck. He fell down and went to the point. The rebound from Racine's shot right to Primo in the slot. Primo didn't get much on it, but still a tough save for Belfour. Cameras everywhere in this building. Shot from behind Ed Belfour this time, showing Belfour's position to make the rebound save.
Now the draw in the Chicago zone. A toe on the near side. Failed to clear it. Shepard. Bounce one into the corner. Primo knocked down there. Belfour will hold it again. A couple of times here in the last few shifts. Chicago with some difficulty coming out of their own zone.
The youngster Primo having a good solid shift, creating a scoring chance and forcing a turnover. Red Wings desperate. They need to score to keep the series alive, down 3-0 in a 0-0 game with just under 2 minutes left here in the third.
And Fedorov and Sutter will get ready to the left of Belfour. Here's the draw to chase on his long shot, and Belfour never saw it, but it deflected up high, and out comes Graham. Graham dumping it in, hoping for Gilbert. He's well covered though by Yzerbark, and Paul Yzerbark tied up. Gilbert stole it. They wrestle along the corner boards. And Gilbert came out of there with it. A diving poke check in the they score! Brent Sutter picked up a loose puck and scooped a backhander in. 1:34 to go. And the Blackhawks are on the verge of getting rid of the Red Wings. It's just 1-0 Hawks.
A dump in into the corner. Greg Gilbert gets in there and ties it up. And then the Red Wings pried the puck loose. They had possession. Now when they're going to carry the puck out, Racine and Fedorov, I believe, was going to pull away with it, but it hit his own player Yzerbark. Gilbert's second effort hacked at it. It was swept at by the defenseman, and right out front to Brent Sutter, who shoveled a backhander past Cheveldae. So two situations because of Greg Gilbert's work creating a turnover. First, Fedorov loses possession when the puck hit Yzerbark's skate. Then a diving defenseman, Chason, I believe it was, tried to hook it away from Gilbert. He did hook it right out front to Brent Sutter, and he put the backhander past a sprawl Tim Cheveldae. So Greg Gilbert's second effort after the Red Wings cough it up gives the Blackhawks the first goal of the game and 1.5 minutes remaining. The Hawks can't be celebrating too much, though. The Red Wings still have the ability. They will look to pull the goaltender, and they've done good work with faceoffs lately. It's a long way from over.
98th playoff game for Brent Sutter. That's his 26th career goal. And the doggedly determined effort of Greg Gilbert is what kept that play alive. There's a dump in that Graham was hoping Gilbert would get to. He was well covered. Yzerbark beat him to it. But Gilbert would not be denied. He just persevered. And after fending off two checkers in the corner, poked that puck loose in front of the net. And Greg Gilbert with a huge assist on the goal by Brent Sutter. Dirk Graham also assisting at 18:26. And the Blackhawks are 1.5 minutes away from advancing to the Final Four.
And this is a very big face-off. Hawks have to keep the momentum here, not allow the Red Wings to get it in deep.
Here is the draw to Detroit. McCrimmon does just that. He gets it in. Cheveldae had thoughts of going off, but he stays on. Held in by Lindstrom. Long backhander bouncing in the slot. Smith put it to the corner. Graham has it there. Dirk Graham kicked it loose. Chelios reversing it to the near side. Steve Smith unable to get it out. Over to the far corner. There goes Cheveldae. 6 attackers for the Red Wings. Graham in the Hawk zone, wrestling along the far side. They battle away on the board. 1 minute left. Here's Sutter digging it out to Gilbert. Gilbert moves to center, tied up by McCrimmon. Didn't have a chance to go for the empty netter. And the Red Wings with 6 attackers. Here's a steal by Chelios. Here's Chelios clearing it into the Red Wing zone. 40 seconds to go. Roenick crashing in on Lidstrom. Here's now toe in there. They wrestle in the Red Wing zone. Roenick wants a face-off if he can get it. They continue to hack at it, and Roenick took about 15 seconds off the clock with that good bit of work. Now the Wings have it, but they're down to 20 seconds. They can't get out of their own zone. Here's McCrimmon. He's forced to turn. The Hawks forechecking unbelievable. The crowd is on their feet. 12 seconds left. Now they have to just flip it to center. Larmer picked it off there. He's knocked down on top of the puck. 8.2 left.
Unbelievable work by the Blackhawks. First to get the puck out of their own zone. Secondly, once they did get it in deep, great forechecking, tremendous work. First by Roenick, then Matoa to be a little bit behind him, and then Steve Larmer, the third guy, the safety valve, and the Red Wings were frustrated and couldn't get back out. And Jim Belushi throws out the broom. The Red Wings have the octopus, and the Blackhawks throw out the broom.
And now it appears that Brian Murray wants his timeout.
Well, we talked about the great play of the veteran line that was employed in the third period with Gilbert, Sutter, and Graham. They were determined throughout this third period. They played it smart. They forechecked extremely well. They always had one guy back. They never got caught, and even stymied the Red Wing attack. They end up scoring the leading goal, and then Ed Belfour's brilliant goaltending throughout the second and here in the third, keeping it a 0-0 game, enabling the Blackhawks to put the pressure on the Red Wings. And finally, with 8 seconds left, a face-off at the red line, and the Red Wings are going to try and spring someone loose on the near side with the face-off just at the left circle of the center ice face-off area.
Shepard is trying to hide along the boards here on the near side. But Steve Smith knows he's there. Here's the draw. Shot toward the empty net by Sutter. It goes wide. Ed Belfour has never had a playoff shutout until now. Hawks win. Hawks win. They're into the Final Four for the third time in the last 4 years. A 1-0 shutout of the Norris Division regular season champs. And the Hawks have gotten rid of Detroit in 4 straight.
A shocker, Pat. What an upset. The Red Wings first in the Norris Division. A talented team, come from behind to beat Minnesota. Everyone thought this series would go 6 or 7 games. Every game would go to the wire. But the Blackhawks won the first one after the much-needed rest. And they just surprised them in Game 2. Held on to win in Game 3. And would not be denied in Game 4 because of Ed Belfour. It's a nice rhyme.
Almost a shame somebody had to lose this game. Ed Belfour, brilliant. So was Tim Cheveldae. He certainly could have had a better fate with the terrific work he put together. Steve Yzerman being congratulated and consoled. And a very difficult pill to swallow for the Red Wing captain. Hey, let's hear from Mike Keenan. Darren Pang's with him.
Okay, thank you very much, Pat. And Mike, you finally got it done. You beat the Red Wings and you're on to the finals in the conference, in the Campbell Conference.
Well, the Final Four is a big accomplishment against this hockey club. It's a great hockey club they played. They just couldn't get their offense going, and I think they're a little tired after the Minnesota comeback.
Outstanding effort by Ed Belfour.
You have to have that kind of goaltending in playoff hockey to be successful. And we had the playoff hockey goaltender tonight. There's no question about it. They outplayed us early in the game. He kept us in there and did the job for us.
Well, listen, Mike, thank you very much for joining us, and go have a good time. Have a smile. And